23rd October 2023 Morning Murli Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, the mantras you have received from human beings are not going to be of any use. Therefore, remember the One Father and remove your intellect's yoga from everything else. Question: what things of the path of devotion cannot continue on the path of knowledge? Answer: on the path of devotion, they ask God for mercy and blessings. On the path of knowledge, it is not a question of blessings or mercy. This is a study. The Father becomes the teacher and teaches you. The basis of your fortune is how you study. If the Father were to have mercy, the whole class would pass. This is why it is not a question of mercy or blessings on the path of knowledge. Each of you definitely has to make your own effort. Song: I am a small child and you are the Almighty. Shanti. This call is from the young and old on the path of devotion, because it has been explained that devotees hold sacred fires, do chanting and tapasya, etc. They believe that they will find a way to the Supreme Soul by doing all of that. To say that God is omnipresent, to say I am a form of Him, or God is also in me, are all lies. God doesn't experience sorrow. God is something separate. This is the mistake of human beings, due to which they are experiencing sorrow. Among you also, hardly anyone knows the Father. Maya repeatedly makes you forget. The Father repeatedly tells you, you are given the Srimad to consider yourselves to be souls and to remember me, the Father. This is the most elevated direction of all. But the Father's Srimad, human beings change from ordinary humans to Narayan, from impure to pure. The directions that impure human beings of this time give are not elevated. God has also said that this is the corrupt, devilish community. The Father says, your deity religion is one that gives a lot of happiness. You attain a lot of happiness. This drama is predestined. One shouldn't ask, why has God created this drama? This drama is eternal. Knowledge means the day and devotion means the night. With knowledge, you are now becoming residents of heaven, whereas with devotion, you have become residents of hell. However, because human beings have stone intellects, they don't understand. Anger is very bad. They continue to manufacture so many bombs. They understand that destruction will definitely take place. Therefore, their intellects are degraded. Are they not? The Iron Age is called the kingdom of Ravan. It is the Ravan that makes you degraded. The Father comes and issues an ordinance. Stop this degradation. The number one degradation is to make one another impure. This is a brothel. Iron Age Bharat is called a brothel. Everyone is born through vice. The Golden Age is called Shivalaya. It was the pure Bharat that was established by shivbaba. Lakshmi and Narayan, etc. are called full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full, completely viceless. In that case, the question of how children are born cannot arise, since it is through the power of yoga that your children became the masters of the world. What is not possible through the power of yoga? Baba says, through the power of yoga, you can become the masters of heaven by following Srimad. Children, there can be born through the power of yoga. You cannot rule the whole world with physical power. Theirs is physical power, whereas yours is yoga power. You have yoga with the Almighty Authority Father. The Almighty Father Himself says, remember me and your sins will be absolved. However, this doesn't stay in anyone's intellect. They say yes, yes, at that time and then forget. Truly, God, the Unlimited Father, is decorating you with knowledge by teaching you Raj Yoga. In spite of that, if it doesn't sit in your intellect, it would be said that it is not in your fortune, and that is why you do not make effort. A teacher teaches everyone, and then some study to a certain extent, and some fail. You wouldn't ask your teacher to give you blessings. In a study, there cannot be mercy or blessings, etc. On the path of knowledge, the Father says Namaste to you. You mustn't ask for mercy or blessings. When a child comes to the Father, the child becomes a master. The Father says, this one is a master. There is no question of mercy. The Father's property becomes the child's property. However, yes, it is a teacher's duty to reform children. A teacher would ask you to study. It is your duty to study. What mercy would he have? It is a guru's duty to show you the path to salvation. There is no question of blessings. Thus is the only one who is the Father, teacher, and guru. There is no question of asking for mercy from any of three. The Father sits here and gives wisdom to senseless human beings. This is his blessing anyway. However, it is the children's duty to follow. It has been remembered, Srimad spoken by God. He is the highest on high, and so his directions would also be elevated. By following Srimad, you become elevated deities, number-wise according to your efforts. You can also understand how many marks you will pass with. At school, students can understand that they will fail because they haven't studied fully. Even a father can tell from the register that his child will fail. Thus one is the Unlimited Father, teacher, and guru. Thus one knows and the children know when they are not studying. If you don't study, your status will definitely be low. You are not even making effort to study well. No matter how much Baba beats his head and explains to you, you don't do anything. When Srimad is not followed, a low status is claimed. Those who become the children will become part of the dynasty. There are many levels of status in that too. There are those who even become maids and servants. Your children know that if you don't study and teach others, you become maids and servants. However, they too remain royal. Lakshmi and Narayan will have palaces studded with jewels and diamonds, and the maids and servants will also reside there. They can then claim a higher status in the future, number-wise. The subjects too are number-wise. People ensure everything on the path of devotion. They make donations in the name of the God. For instance, if someone had a hospital built, he would receive a healthy body free from disease in his next birth. Temporary fruit is definitely received. If someone opened a school, he would study well in his next birth. If someone opened a dharamshala, he would have a good house to stay in his next birth. Therefore, this is ensuring, is it not? Each one ensures himself. Everything of yours is not direct with God. That is indirect, whereas this is ensuring directly. Baba, all of this is yours. I am a trustee. In return for this, you give yourself sovereignty for 21 births. This is ensuring directly with the Father for 21 births. The Father says, transfer your bags and baggage to the golden age. When war breaks out, the smaller kings place all their wealth with the bigger king, and then when the war is over, they take all their wealth back. Baba is experienced in these things. The Father knows and Dada also knows. You should understand that you are receiving the inheritance from Baba through Dada. The Father is teaching you. That Father, not this one, is Heavenly God the Father. This one is Dada, means the elder brother. Firstly, you definitely have to belong to Dada, means the grandfather. Baba, I belong to you. I will claim my inheritance from you. To remove your intellect's yoga from everyone else requires effort. The father says, now all the mantras from the gurus, etc., are not going to be of any use. None of the mantras from any of the human beings are going to be of use now. I tell you, remember me, and victory is yours. You have big burdens of sins on your heads. Now remember me, and your sins will be absolved. Then I will send you to heaven. First of all, you have to have this faith. If you don't have faith, Baba doesn't open the locks on your intellect, and you don't imbibe anything. When you belong to the Father, you also claim a right to the inheritance. This doesn't sit in some intellects. Some new ones go ahead of the older ones. The Father explains very clearly. To the extent that someone studies, accordingly he earns an income. This godfatherly knowledge is your source of income. By studying this knowledge, you become the masters of the world. Human beings don't have this knowledge. You have now become my children. From the devilish community, you now belong to the deity community. From corrupt, you are becoming elevated. No one can become elevated without following Srimad. Otherwise, at the end, you will return home after experiencing punishment. Although those who listen to a little knowledge will go to heaven, they will attain a completely ordinary status amongst the subjects. The status there is number-wise. There, people won't be so poor that they don't have chapatis to eat. Poor people, they are not like the poor people here. Everyone has happiness there. Don't think it's okay, even if I am one of the subjects. That is weakness. First of all, there has to be the firm faith that these are the versions of incorporeal God. God says, I do not take a human costume. My name is Shiv. All deities and human beings have names given to their bodies. I do not have a bodily name. I do not have a body of my own. Bodily beings cannot be called God. They are called human beings. It is due to considering human beings to be God that the people of Bharat have become senseless. Otherwise, the people of Bharat were very wise and sensible. Earlier, the cloth etc. of Bharat was good, very fine. Now they cannot make those same things. Science to exist in heaven for your happiness. Here science is for both happiness and sorrow. You receive temporary happiness. There is limitless sorrow. When the whole world is destroyed, there will be sorrow. Will there not? Everyone will cry out in distress. That there is nothing but happiness through science. There is no mention of sorrow. Only those whose fortune has opened can understand this. If they don't have happiness in their fortune, they don't understand. Barristers, etc., are also number-wise. Some charge 10 to 20,000 for a single case, whereas other barristers don't even have a coat to wear. It is the same here. One either becomes a king of kings or a subject worth a few pennies. The father sits here and explains to you children, Bharat is the poorest of all at this time. It is Bharat that then becomes wealthy. Donations are always given to the poor. The wealthy are not able to take this knowledge as much as ordinary. Poor people can. Only they will take this knowledge. It is not the law to give donations to wealthy ones. You are poor, are you not? Your mama was the poorest of all, but she will then become the empress of the world. The drama is created in this way. The majority of those who take this knowledge are poor because they are unhappy. The wealthy are very happy anyway. They say that This is heaven for them. They have motor cars and money, etc. They say, give knowledge to those who don't have money and are in hell. Yours is godfatherly service. You are the true servants of Bharat. Those are physical social workers. They give a little happiness to human beings. You cleanse the whole world and make it pure and happy. You are serving Bharat with your bodies, minds, and wealth. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, transfer your old bags and baggage for 21 births. Ensure them and then look after them as a trustee. Second point, let your intellect have faith as you study. Donate the wealth of knowledge to the poor. Do true spiritual service of making Bharat pure. Blessing. May you be a master teacher, and while walking and moving along, give every soul teachings with every action and words of yours. Explanation. Just as there is a mobile library, in the same way, you too are mobile master teachers. Constantly see students in front of you. You are not alone. You are always in front of students. You are constantly studying and also teaching. A worthy teacher would never be careless in front of his students. He would always pay attention. When you sleep, wake up, walk, and eat, always think that you are sitting in a big college and that your students are watching you. Slogan. It is elevated yoga to make your sanskars completely pure, with the soul having faith. Om Shanti.